water-damaged basement in Prince George's County, Maryland. It's the United States' only streaming show with 2 cameras. I'm Joe Pug. This is Sunday Songs. Thanks for being here. Thanks for texting a friend, letting them know a show is going on and that we're about to sing some songs for free. So thanks for being here. I hope your week was good, and let's do it. I don't know, but I could swear we left our better selves somewhere. These days all we do, it seems, chase our checks and call them dreams. I've known you since we were kids, with the whole world cut up on a dish. Then the work went south and your dad got sick, and the ground below began to slip. Bright beginnings often fade, precious few can keep the flame. So let the chips fall where they may. We're headed out of town today, where we're bound for I can't say. There's no sure things in this life, babe. Bright beginnings often fade, precious few can keep the flame. But all I have I'd give to stand beside that brightness once again. All I have I would happily give. All I have I would happily give. All I have I would happily give. All I have I would happily give, baby. To stand there with you now, to stand there with you ever, to stand there with you now, to stand there with you ever, to stand there with you now, to stand there with you ever, to stand there with you now, to stand there with you ever. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a song called Bright Beginnings off an album of mine called Windfall. That's the first song on that record. Here's a song that I didn't write, but I really wish I had written. And I played this song all over the U.S. and all over the world, trying to make it a part of the American Songbook, because I think it should be there. This is by a guy named Tex Thomas. From deep dark wells comes pure clean water, and the ice will melt as the day gets hotter and the night grows old, as the sun climbs into the sky. When now here's then, and tomorrow's coming, and where you've been starts meaning something. As As long as you can, just keep stumbling ahead. As long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. As long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. You can start all over again. From deep dark wells comes pure clean water. The ice will melt as the day gets hotter and the night grows old as the sun climbs into the sky. And as long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. As long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. As long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. As long as you're not finished, you can start all over again. You can start all over again. Thank you. Let me see down there in the throw in the comments where you guys are watching from tonight. Throw down in the live chat, and I'll check after this song. I was someone hit me up this week, and he said, "Hey Joe, I've been keeping track of every one of your shows that you've played, and every song that you've played at every one." And he has a whole list of them, and it got me thinking, like, man, there's a couple songs I guess I never get to, so I want to get to a couple of those songs tonight. So thank you. I think it was Chris that hit me up, maybe Chris. So here's one that I almost never play. I'll speak plainly, Diana, there's nothing to understand. Yes, there's mysteries in the basement, but there's comic books upstairs. And there's a wrecking ball in the front yard, but there's blueprints on the couch. Speak plainly to me, Diana, we'll build ourselves a house, and I don't mind riding around. I don't mind riding around. There's no safety, Diana, and there's nobody to blame. Even daylight will surprise you, even dreams will end the same. So when there's too much to remember, and you remember me, speak plainly to me, Diana, we'll swim into the sea. I said I don't mind riding around. 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 Oh, come lately, Diana, and quit what's got you down. Steal from the tallest cabinet and make your favorite sound. And when there's too much to get rid of, and you get rid of me, oh, speak plainly to me, Diana, there's nothing you must be. I said I don't mind riding around. 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 I don't mind. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Let's see where you guys are watching from tonight. Always one of my favorite parts of the show. Okay, let me scroll back here. Where you guys at? Eddie enjoys Joe Puck. Appreciate that. Jessica says, hey, Joe, what's up? Hey, Jessica, how you doing? Austin, Texas misses me. I miss Austin. I like your Eddie Van Halen avatar there, brother. Sam's in Melbourne. Cantor Won't is in Chicago. What's up? How you doing? How you doing, Julie? Good to see you. Thanks for being back. Let's see. Someone else from Chicago. St. Louis. Michelle, how you doing? Gavan is in Thailand. I think you joined us last week, didn't you? Good to see you again. Pete's in Pittsburgh. We love you guys being here. Thanks for sending a text to friends. Let them know that there's a show going on. Holly was glad we played Bright Beginnings. You're very welcome. Hey, Canyon, you're watching from Paducah, Kentucky. Paducah, Kentucky, I played a gig there once. And Paducah, Kentucky was the place where I figured out that there are still dry counties in the United States of America. Because I played a gig, and then after the gig, I went to go get a beer, as is my wont, after gigs, and you guys shut me down, man. I was in dry county. I feel for you out there. Jason Harper didn't know I didn't write Deep Dark Wells. Oh no. I've been unmasked. See, Mama Mary's back. Zachariah and the Invisibles is back. This is all excellent. Nick's in Chapel Hill. Hello from Adelaide. So Travis is in Adelaide, Australia. Here's a thing that I didn't know about the world that I learned from Adelaide, Australia when I played a gig there. Did you know, viewer at home, that there can be such a thing as a time zone that changes by just a half hour? Because I flew from Melbourne to Adelaide to play a gig once, and the time change was by a half hour, and it was the most ass-backwards thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. So, hello, Travis. How you doing? John's in Tampa. Awesome. I'm going to get to a couple more of these in a second. Good news, guys. This week, I went to the U.S. Patent Office, and I got a hold of them, and I patented the piano cam. I patented the second piano, so no one else. I was always the first live stream with two cameras, but now I'll be the last as well. So we're going to switch over to the piano cam here. I hope you can hear me. This is a Bob Dylan song that I just love. I've listened to this song a million times. I think he recorded this in Muscle Shoals, and it's actually just him with a piano. And no matter how many times I try to cover this song and try to make it sound like myself, I always end up singing like him a little bit on it. But this is one of my favorite Bob Dylan songs from Slow Train Coming. This is called When He Returns. The iron hand ain't no match for the iron rod. The strongest wall will crumble and fall to a mighty God. To all those who have eyes and all those who have ears, it is only Him can reduce me to tears. Don't you cry, don't you die, and don't you burn like a thief in the night. He'll turn wrong from right when He returns. Truth is an arrow, the gate is narrow that it travels through. He unleashed His power at an unknown hour that no one knew. How long can I listen to the lies of prejudice? How long can I stay drunk on fear out in the wilderness? Can I cast it aside, all this loyalty and this pride? Will I ever learn that there'll be no peace, that the war won't cease until He returns? Surrender your crown on this blood-stained ground. Take off your mask. He sees your deeds, He knows your needs, even before you ask. How long can you falsify and deny what is real? How long can you hate yourself for the weakness you conceal of every earthly plan that be known to man? He is unconcerned. He's got plans of His own to set up His throne when He returns. A Dylan cover on the piano cam. I bet you never thought it'd happen. Let's see where else you guys are here tonight. We can't do too many songs in a row on the piano cam. It would just be too heavy. I don't think that YouTube could handle the traffic that would come our way if we did that. Jared Weatherholt is in Albuquerque. What's up, Jared? Nick Langston says, hey neighbor, you must be in the Tri-County area. Let's see. Callum's in Melbourne. Jay's in Edinburgh. I've been to Edinburgh before, enough that I know how to pronounce it. And also you guys taught me how to drink scotch there, which has been a blessing and a curse. They told me over there, if you have good scotch, what you're supposed to do, not drink it neat with nothing in it, not drink it on the rocks. Just pour a little bit of room temperature water into it is how the Scots taught me how to drink my scotch. And it's good. I've enjoyed scotch ever since. Kind of like that Onion article. I'm like a chocoholic, but for booze. And Jay appreciates the that Dylan record there. I do too. I love that Dylan record. All right, let me play you guys a few more songs here before we move on. You know, I see a request for this here, and I was going to play this one anyway. So why don't we he wants to hear the bank song. It's called I Don't Work in a Bank. Yeah, I did write this song for my wife, much to her eternal chagrin. Not that she listens to my music anyway. That's how I get away with it. I don't work in a bank. They're not my beans to count. If you want proof when I go broke, no one will bail me out. Don't ask me where I'm going. Don't ask how much I drank. If you want answers, that's just fine, but I don't work in a bank. Oh, well, I don't work in a bank. And you knew that when we met. Let's put that dress back on the rack and live with your regret. You don't get to taste the top shelf when your bottom line is blank. So it's private stock in public school. I don't work in a bank. Oh, well, I don't work in a bank. That was fine when I was a kid. But the awful truth I've learned, things would be better if I did. Yeah, I ended up with short change and just myself to thank, 'cause the world's a giant spinning coin and I don't work in a bank. Thank you for the request. Well, it wouldn't be a Joe Pug concert if we had two lighthearted songs in a row. So we got to get heavy and existential here now. That's how it works, you guys. Those are the rules. I just work here. We found you in the street with a list of all our names. There were stars beside the strongest and the weakest. They cut you quite a deal, almost too good to refuse. But some of us don't just worship what's convenient. We thought that our distance was safe, but wickedness can travel. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. In your Father rest his soul. The finest man I ever knew spoke a truth that was clean as an island. They gave him every chance to repeat the party line, but he shattered their windows with his silence. So they took him out back in the rain, and they made him an example. But you are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. Now they're rounding up the boys in the nation half the war, and they left behind the two-faced and the useless. On the first of every month, the neighbors gather on our lawn, and we dance for their mercy like we're minstrels. They dug up the headstones last night and broke them in the gravel. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. You are not fragile. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a song off the last record called The Flood in Color. Sam is watching from Frametown, West Virginia. That definitely sounds like a town that I've driven through in West Virginia at some point. I know how this is pronounced, Aubrey. You're trying to troll me here, aren't you? It's pronounced Spokane, but I needed to rhyme it in a song, so I called it Spokane. Good to see you. Daniels and Jackson. A lot of Chicago people tonight. This is excellent. My one-time home base. Felicity wants to hear if Still It Can't Be Found. Yeah, we could do that. We could do that for you. Yeah, let's do it. This is a song off of Windfall. I want to get someone to cover this song one day. Because I think this song could have another life. There's a road I have known I could always find if I walked ahead. Can I start that one over, guys? You guys, don't worry. I'm a professional. It's gonna be fine. There's a road I have known I could always find if I walked ahead. I could look behind. If I fell behind, I could always know. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a hand I have known I could always hold through the night so long, through the day so fair. If I lost my grip, I would not despair. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. So I'll keep walking on and often, for you can hear the echoes of my steps. If it's not around this corner, it's around the next. If it's not beyond this river, it's beyond the rest. And if still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. If still it can't be found, it's probably for the best. There's a road I have known I could always find. Thank you. I'm in the mood to play this one. And I've come to know the wish list of my father. I've come to know the shipwrecks where he wished. I've come to wish aloud among the overdressed crowd. Come to witness now the sinking of the ship, throwing pennies from the sea top next to it. And I've come to roam the forest past the village with a dozen lazy horses in my cart. I've come here to get high, to do more than just get by. I've come to test the timber of my heart. Well, I've come to test the timber of my heart. I have come to be untroubled in my seeking. I have come to see that nothing is for naught. I've come to reach out blind, to reach forward and behind. For the more I seek, the more I'm sought. Yeah, the more I seek, the more I'm sought. And I've come to meet the sheriff and his posse, to offer him the broadside of my jaw. I've come here to get broke, and then maybe bum a smoke. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. We'll go drinking 2 towns over after all. And I've come to meet the legendary takers. I've only come to ask them for a lot. Well, they say I've come with less than I should rightfully possess. I say the more I buy, the more I'm bought. And the more I'm bought, the less I cost. I have come to take their servants and their surplus. I have come to take their raincoats and their speed. I've come to get my fill, to ransack and spill. I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. Or I've come to trade the harvest for the seed. I've come to know the manger that you sleep in. I have come to be the stranger that you keep. I've come from down the road, and my footsteps never slowed. Before we met, I knew we'd meet. Oh, before we met, I knew we'd meet. And I've come here to ignore your cries and heartaches. I've come to closely listen to you sing. I've come here to insist that I leave here with a kiss. I've come to say exactly what I mean, and I mean so many things. And you've come to know me stubborn as a butcher. And you've come to know me thankless as a guest. Will you recognize my face when God's awful grace strips me of my jacket and my vest and reveals all the treasure in my chest? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Pratik has a very nice comment here. John probably might be gone, but a little bit of lives on. I don't work in a bank. High praise indeed. Thank you. I got to tell my husband, played my request. He totally loves your music too. Right on. Thank you. Hey, Mark, I didn't see this comment, but we're just going to pretend like what I just played was an answer to your request. Hey, yeah, we did get to your request last week, didn't we, Rob? Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Eric, for the kind words. Caleb is watching on Twitter. Not a lot of people watch on Twitter. That's good for you, man. And wants to hear Here Again. Yeah, I'd love to. I never get to play that song too much, so I'd love to play that for you. And then we'll get to a Soft Boy Poem Corner after that. Here again, here again, what I wouldn't give to completely disappear and then float back down to earth with a heart that didn't want to end up here again. Back and forth, back and forth. It's all fun and games till you find out what you're fighting for is the very piece of chain that's held you here in place, wandering back and forth. I keep on waiting in the middle of the night to make a promise. Maybe one day I can keep it if I try. Here again, here again. There are voices speaking truth far away. You know I'm hearing them. Will I follow where they lead? Or will I fall asleep and end up here again? That song is about 2 minutes and 15 seconds long on the record, and that's my proudest achievement, that we recorded a song that short. All right, it's now time, ladies and gentlemen. It's now time for America's favorite time to cry, Soft Boy Poem Corner. This is a poem. What's been really nice about doing poems on the Working Songwriter podcast and doing poems here is now I used to have to look for poems, but now people just send me incredible poems all the time. And this was a poem sent to me, DM'd to me on Twitter from Christopher Wilson. It's from Louise Gluck. I'm not sure when she wrote this, but it's a beautiful poem entitled Parable. Parable. First, divesting ourselves of worldly goods, as St. Francis teaches, in order that our souls not be distracted by gain and loss, and
in order also that our bodies be free to move easily at the mountain passes. We had then to discuss whither or where we might travel, with the second question being, should we have a purpose? Against which many of us argued fiercely that such purpose corresponded to worldly goods, meaning a limitation or constriction, whereas others said it was by this word we were consecrated pilgrims rather than wanderers. In our minds, the word translated as a dream, a something sought, so that by concentrating we might see it glimmering among the stones and not pass blindly by. Each further issue we debated equally fully, the arguments going back and forth, so that we grew, some said, less flexible and more resigned, like soldiers in a useless war. And snow fell upon us, and wind blew, which in time abated. Where the snow had been, many flowers appeared, and where the stars had shone, the sun rose over the tree line, so that we had shadows again. Many times this happened. Also rain, also flooding sometimes, also avalanches in which some of us were lost. And periodically, we would seem to have achieved an agreement, our canteens hoisted upon our shoulders, but always that moment passed. So that after many years, we were still at that first stage, still preparing to begin a journey, but we were changed nevertheless. We could see this in one another. We had changed, although we never moved, and one said, "Ah, behold, we have aged, traveling from day to night only, neither forward nor sideward, and this seemed in a strange way miraculous." And those who believed we should have a purpose believed that this was the purpose. And those who felt we must remain free in order to encounter truth felt it had been revealed. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A lot of good poems in the world. Too bad you can't make any money from poetry whatsoever. You can write something that beautiful. With a song, if it's a really beautiful song, people will like buy the song and you can have a career. But as a poet, there's like 3 poets that can make a living that way. It's crazy that you could write something that beautiful. And I don't know how Louise Gluck did. She probably did fine for herself, but you get my point. You should do really well if that song. Let's see. Holly G says, Joe, I've been missing your cooking series on Instagram stories. Thank you. The world has felt pretty serious over the last 6 months. So in some ways, I've felt a little awkward about doing, Dad's Calorie Corner, cooking and stuff like that. But maybe I'll get back to it. All right. Throw down in there some requests. I'm gonna thank you very kindly for anyone who kicks into the virtual tip jar. I'm gonna play a song over at the piano cam and hit us with some requests. Otherwise, we'll finish out the show that way. This is a song off the album Windfall called The Measure. Every inch of anguish laid out side by side cannot make a full yard in the measure of our lives. Every coin of sorrow weighed upon the beams rises when the far side is freighted by our dreams. Well, the night is rich as we stop to look around. Yes, I believe it is as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing what we found. All we lost is nothing what we found.
every dying ember, every setting sun cannot cast a shadow on the race we have run. Every paper dollar counted over twice cannot buy our gladness, cannot pay our price. Well, the night is rich as we stop to look around. Yes, I believe it is as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing to what we found. All we lost is nothing to what we found. Well, the night is real as we stop to look around. Yes, I believe it is as we pause to hear the sound. All we lost is nothing to what we found. All we lost is nothing to what we found. Thank you.
I hope you guys got your fill of the piano cam tonight. As I said, we've patented that, so not only were we the first show to have one, but now it's legally impossible on a federal level for any other streaming show to have a second camera. So I thought it was pretty on the ball of me to lock that in, and I think it's going to be a really great competitive advantage for me going forward in this marketplace. Let's see, what do you guys want to hear? A lot of people want to hear Stay and Dance. I mean, I played that last week. I can play it again for sure. Tom wants to hear the Letdown. I haven't played that this week or last week, so let's do that one. You got it, Tom. Over on YouTube. Hey, look, my cousin Curtis is watching. What's up, man? He wants to know if there's any bone pile. You know, I wasn't going to play a bone pile song today because we tend to lose a lot of viewership during the bone pile song. But hey, man, if your cousin asks you for a song, you got to play it, right? So I will play you a bone pile song, and then we'll do the Letdown. This is a song I think you'll hear why I didn't use this song on an album. I think it's an okay song. I think it's got some good ideas on it, but I just didn't think of it. If I'm going to put out an album under my own name, it just didn't sound like a quote-unquote Joe Pug song to me. So here, I'll play this one for you, per Curtis' request. I wrote this for the last album, and it just didn't quite make it. Let's see what you think.
We shouldn't take pictures that you can't expose, she said with a laugh from the side of the road. And her hair was blonde, but it shone bright red, and the wind played tricks in the trees ahead. I'm an unbeliever, I'm an unbeliever, I'm an unbeliever in name only. Well, all pretty girls in the schoolyard smoke, and they gossip and gamble and they jump black road, and their sleight of hand that's so plain to see. Fooled me once, fooled me twice, that's a shame on me. I'm an unbeliever, I'm
So there you have it. There you go, Curtis. That's Unbeliever. It didn't make the last album. And the lyric is, I'm an unbeliever in name only. Okay, let's see. Oh, I said I was going to do the Letdown. Let me do the Letdown, and then I'll do another request after that.
The night's so long, you can almost hear it groan. The night's so long, you can almost hear it groan. And we walk so far that our shadows turn to stone. It was a wretched room, we hung up Christmas lights. It was a wretched room, but we hung up Christmas lights. And the girls played house while the neighbors froze outside. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with its hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? Well, she had long black hair, and you bought everything she sold. She had long black hair, and you bought everything she sold. And she taught you the fine points of doing just as you were told. Brace yourself for the letdown. The Holy Ghost with his hands out. No peace on earth is cheaply found. Do you see my colors now? Do you see my colors now?
Thank you. I think that one was for Tom. Let's do one more tune here, and then we'll say goodnight. Let's see. Here we go. This is Christopher who recommended the poem. Christopher Wilson. So he recommended this poem to me, and he's telling us where it's from. Faithful and Virtuous Night. That's a hell of a name for a collection of poems. Thank you, Christopher. That was awesome, man. It was just a beautiful poem. Mike is rolling in with the dad jokes. Oh, man. Okay, great. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna finish with this one here. Cynthia wants to hear Unsophisticated Heart. You got it. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for hitting the virtual tip jar whenever you do. Thanks for telling a friend that every Sunday night we're here playing tunes for free. And I love it that you guys keep on showing up and hanging out here. It means the world. Oh, so next week, next Sunday, it's my first gig back in the real world. My last gig in the real world was at the 930 Club on March 7th or 8th. It was like one of the last shows that they did at the 930 Club here in DC before Corona shut everything down. Haven't played anywhere outside of this water damaged basement since then. And next Sunday, the 18th, I got a gig and I'm playing in Virginia. But my friends, the gig is in the afternoon. And I think if I hightail it back, it's about a 4-hour drive. I think if I hightail it back, I'm almost positive that I can make it back to this water damaged basement on time. So the show will go on. Next week, we're going to play a show in Virginia at Devil's Backbone Brewery with Mandolin Orange, IRL, in real life. And then I'm going to hightail it up 81 back here to this water damage basement and play a show for you guys next week. So come on back next week. Bring a friend next week. And just thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys coming out and hearing tunes online like this. So I'm going to leave you with this tune here.
Take a walk on Sunday, it ain't that hard. Take a walk on Sunday, it ain't that hard. And if my thoughts are hard to gather, if I don't know where to start, it ain't my mind that matters, for I have an unsophisticated heart. I tried to trust a stranger, it got hard. You know, I tried to trust a stranger, it got hard. Now I see things like a soldier, and I'm jealous of the dark. But if my eyes have only gotten older, I still have an unsophisticated heart. Oh, my eyes will be hard and my voice will be guarded, my mind so bewildered and buried in the garden. You may still know me by just one part. I tried to keep your secret, it got hard. There was nowhere I could keep it, and it got hard. And there's one thing that's for certain, when they come with their dogs and their guards, I can't hide behind the thinnest of curtains, for I have an unsophisticated heart. For I
Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week. Peace, guys.